So there's a little bit more information that has come out. I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of an update, if you will, from the previous video that went up. Make sure you guys take a look at this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future videos coming up on this topic. There's a Patreon link in the description if you guys want to support the channel, Squirrel Tribe. If not, no harm, no foul. Love you guys either way. There is also a link to ButcherBox in the description. Now, if you do sign up with ButcherBox through the link, you do save $50 for yourselves. But the reason I'm telling you about this is if there is going to be a supply chain issue, a ripple effect because of what's going on in New York City, hopefully you can still get your meats through ButcherBox. There's other places I'm sure online, but ButcherBox I know for a fact will deliver because they do not rely on semi-truck drivers for their deliveries. You got UPS, you got FedEx, you got the United States Postal Service. But either way, that may be an option if you start to see things getting a little bare on your shelves at the grocery stores. Squirrel trap. Oh no, so in the beginning I was a little skeptical. I'm going to go with the word skeptical only because when we talked about God's Army and the whole trucking thing from Canada down to the southern border, it was supposed to be 700,000 people deep, you know, and that was going to be a whole lot of trucks. And then it just kind of, it fizzled and it didn't do what people thought it was going to do. So now you hear another thing about another trucking convoy or lack of, if you will, and you have to think to yourself, well, is it going to have that same fizzle out as the original one did? But as the hours are going on, and we are literally here, we're Central Standard Time, we're only an hour away from
it's
Monday.
Technically Monday.
It's technically Monday in New York. I have to wonder if it's going to be as severe as it is building up to be.
Well, they're saying by the end of the week.
So that's the thing. So if truckers don't deliver on Monday, like if they say, you know what, screw this, we're not going into New York City on Monday. A lot of people are going, you know, well, it's a holiday, it's whatever else. Guess what? Truck drivers still deliver on holidays. Businesses still run on holidays.
They may not deliver on it, but they drive on it.
They drive on it. So
then,
they'll still deliver on it. When I was in corporate America, I still got deliveries on certain days, whether it was President's, Columbus, it didn't matter. We still had deliveries. We had our delivery schedules. We still got deliveries. Just because government was shut down on those days doesn't mean that your regular businesses that you and I would frequent, would patron, would shut down. They were still up and running. They still had to get their things, right? The banks were closed and everything else, but there was still people delivering the foods, the goods, the supplies. So if you have truckers today, saying, hey, we're not going into New York City, fend for yourself, it is what it is. The good news is these truckers are giving people a heads up. They're saying, hey, New Yorkers, you know, this is what's about to hit your city because of what has happened to Donald J. Trump.
If you're in New York, you better get to Pathmark, Associated, Key Foods, whatever.
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
Yep. Whatever you've got in there. Listen, I'm not in New York. I don't know all of the specific places. Hit up the corner bodega. That's all I'm going to say because I'm sure they've got some good
They're
stuff.
gonna jack the prices up.
I mean, so that is what I wanted to mention. So you have to think about what happened during the pandemic over the last couple of years when there was a supply chain issue. What happened? They threw those prices through the roof. They said, let's see how high we can get these things because the people are going to be scared. They're going to be worried about having enough on hand versus not. So they're going to spend the money whether they have it or not. So you're going to have people going out tomorrow trying to bum rush these stores, trying to get in these lines and willing to max out credit cards, spend everything they've got trying to get food and whatever supplies they need because you do not know how long the trucker strike, I guess we'll call it a trucker strike, will last. If it's 1 day,
Boycott.
2 days, 3 days, boycott. 1, 2, or 3 days doesn't matter. It's going to have a long-term effect. For every day that something doesn't work, it affects numerous days afterwards in certain, like way more situations than you could think of. Max, stop. Sorry, my dog's over on my couch trying to lick things. Thank you.
I was trying to smell his tail because it smells
Thank you,
like
Maxie
it
Poo.
smells like it's dead.
I appreciate you.
So I didn't expect this. You know, if you were to ask me a year ago, would we experience food shortages and what would be the cause? No way I would have.
No way. Well, I would have thought that maybe the cause would have been a trucker strike at some point due to the things that happened during the pandemic with the supply chain issues and trucking companies closing down, California not allowing owner operators anymore, and trucking companies not paying correctly, especially when gas prices were going up, diesel prices were going up, and owner operators especially
were not going up. Diesel supply.
Owner operators especially were not getting paid more, even though they were having to spend twice as much to get the loads from point A to point B.
And diesel supply was dwindling.
And diesel supply was dwindling. dwindling. They say that so that they could jack up the prices. So that is another thing, though, that you have to take into consideration right now in New York City. Yes, the supplies may be dwindling, but we have not seen it yet. So I'm worried about people who are going to go out at the crack of dawn and buy way more than they need, spend way more money than they have before there is any actual proof of this convoy stop, if you will.
It's interesting because some people don't have that money to spend.
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying.
Some people are waiting on their EBT balance to be reloaded, or WIC or whatever. So, it's great. It's a great idea, but there's no guarantee.
I have a question on that because I do not know the answer. Maybe you guys do. If you do, please educate me in the comments. I appreciate you ahead of time. If you have EBT, if you have WIC, can a store say, no, we're not going to give this to you because we can sell it for way more to the line of people who want to make purchases? Can they turn away EBT and WIC for people with actual factual money and credit cards?
I don't know if they could turn them away, but they'll say, oh, the system's down.
Yeah.
The system's down. Now, you mentioned earlier about box truck deliveries. But we kind of excluded hot shot deliveries. Hot shots would love to pick up these loads.
Oh, that's true.
Hot shots would love to pick up these loads. They can't. Hot shots aren't going to be able to pick up refrigerated loads.
Yeah, there's a difference there. The refrigerated loads are the ones that are going to be the most detrimental not being delivered to many places because those are the things that people rely on a literal daily basis more so than stuff that's getting dropped off at Home Depot or Lowe's or, the sporting goods section of Walmart. It's the things that are going to your grocery stores, to the food section of Walmart, to your bodegas, to your gas station cold sections even.
All right, but if you do in fact have, immigrants or migrants with green cards and
work visas and whatnot.
Yeah, because I believe the U.S. allows for a like any other country's CDL.
It'll still work here.
Yeah.
So I've had people comment, hey, I don't think you know how this trucking thing works, all the stuff you have to go through. I do fully understand how it works to get your CDL, how you have to pass the test, everything you have to do, the hours you're allowed to work, the places you're allowed to sleep, not sleep, the way you have to log in, everything you do. I fully understand all of it, which is why in the beginning I was like, I don't know how many people who are working for companies will be able to do this. Owner-operators all day long can decide what they will or will not take. It is on them and they know what they're doing. Those who work for companies who are hourly drivers, because not everybody who drives a semi-truck is an owner-operator. There are plenty that work for companies that get paid hourly. There are plenty that work for companies that get paid by the mile. And if you do not go work for those companies, you do not have a job the next day. So I do worry about those ones who are like, hey, I want to jump on board with this. I want to be part of what people are doing to stand up for Donald J. Trump, for DJT, but they may not realize that maybe their company isn't on the same side that they are. And so when they say, no, I'm not going to go into New York, their company goes, cool. No, you don't have to. It's fine. I understand. And then the next day, the trucker calls in and goes, hey, I'm ready for my load. And they go, sorry, we don't have one for you. You wouldn't do the job we needed you to do. Therefore, we don't have something for you today.
Donald Trump's trying to make athletic footwear great again.
Great again for $399. I mean, it was a sick looking shoe. I'm not going to lie. I liked how he red bottomed it. I like the T. I like the T on the side. It was very Mr. T, if you will. It should come with a gold chain to go with it. It was a good gold color, and it had gold cellophane-ish wrapping in the box too. It was a nice box, also.
So
it's a very good box.
You know,
huge box.
The thing about the thing about these companies finding new drivers is you got to think if the driver is an immigrant or a migrant or one of this, whatever. I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible. They are not on Trump's side. You see what I'm saying?
No, they're definitely going to be on Biden's side because Trump wanted the wall and Biden said, F that wall. Yeah, no, I do.
So this is wild.
Yeah.
This is, and then the other thing is it's not just the truckers, the dispatchers are in on it now too.
Yeah, that's true.
So we got a clip here.
I was just going to say, if you hear random screaming in the background, it's because our daughter is playing video games with her friends, and it's going wild, I guess.
She's turned up.
She's turned up.
It's 11,
she's
16,
14. She doesn't have school tomorrow, so
just finished watching Trolls, the movie.
Yeah,
and now
the musical one.
So we're gonna dive in.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Take a look at this, New York, and all the truckers out there. We're diving straight into the whirlwind that's about to hit the streets of New York. In a move that's got the city buzzing, truck drivers are uniting in a boycott. And it's not just the drivers now. Earlier today, we talked about how the truckers were boycotting. Well, we've gotten an update.
Somebody actually mentioned earlier, they said Cash Jordan has been providing so much information.
Oh, I love Cash Jordan.
About what's going on in New York.
He is boots on the ground, literally.
But this headline here says truckers for Trump are refusing to drive to New York City after a $350 million fraud ruling.
For those who don't know, the fraud ruling was about the fact that they're saying that Trump kind of falsified documents to show that he made less money than he did, so he didn't have to pay nearly as many taxes. And now they want him to basically pay all that back.
2018.
Yeah.
The Attorney General, she called it. She had a grudge out for him.
Uh-huh.
It was dirty.
Yeah.
It was dirty.
Yeah.
She joked about it. She laughed about it. Whether she was right or wrong, she's like, basically, you could see the smug look on her face. I'm gonna ruin this man's life.
Update. We're now hearing that dispatch companies and truck carriers are saying that they're out too. Here's the lowdown. A trucker on TikTok just laid it out all for us, shining a light on why this boycott's really gaining steam. It's not just a few truckers anymore, but companies pulling back and freezing loads to New York. New York is looking at a real supply challenge.
I would be willing to bet that some of these folks are pulling back because they're afraid of what will happen
if they do show up.
Yeah.
Well, for two reasons, I'm sure. One, we talked about the illegal immigrants, and there's a lot of people, a lot of theft there. But also, they have to worry about the fact that if they were to show up, it's going to look bad to the people who are on board with the boycott, and that could get a negative response there. And you don't want to be the company who shows up with your logo emblazoned on the side of your truck or your whatever, and they're like, oh, so Pepsi decided they were just going to come in? Oh, so Bud Light decided they were just going to come in here? How dare they boycott them because they're not standing with the truckers? But
also the safety of the drivers.
Oh, yeah.
The safety of the drivers. They pull up and they're like, oh, you're the only one. Well, I had to. And, you don't want to find
Well, here's the thing, though.
You remember that truck driver the other day?
I don't think the people
weeks ago, the truck driver went missing?
Yes, I don't think the people of New York are going to hurt the truck drivers because the people of New York can be like, thank you, please, everybody make way for him to get through so he can deliver things. Plus,
have you ever seen an angry mob?
Yes, but the people of New York...
They do not think clearly.
But the people of New York aren't the ones angry about what's going on with Trump. People of New York, generally speaking, are blue, not red. The people who are mad are the people who are for Trump. The people in New York, generally speaking, are not for Trump.
But what if you have outsiders coming in saying, even if you're coming in here, we're going to put a stop to it. Mm-hmm. We're going to shut it down.
What is this, The Outsiders? Like that? Or West Side Story? Like, you got a little back and forth?
It's like Mad Max, really.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Instead of fuel, it's
like the one with
Charlize?
Mel Gibson or the one with Charlize Theron?
I didn't see that one.
The Mel Gibson one is the better one.
Tom Hardy one.
Oh yeah, no, the originals are the better. The original Mad Max movies are where it's at.
So the liability, the risk of the drivers.
And guess what kicked it all off? A massive $355 million verdict against Trump. That's right. Truckers and now their companies are standing firm with Trump, making it clear that they won't make a move towards New York City until the charges against him are dropped. So let's take a look of what.
They're not going to drop. I mean, the charges have been dropped. It's already gone through. There are no charges.
They have to push through the appeal, I
was about to say, because that's the thing. There's no charges. That's the whole thing. It went through. He was found guilty of whatever, and now he owes us money. Of course, they're going to try to appeal, but it's not drop the charges against him. It's reverse the charges against him.
I guess they could.
Can you really, once it's already been decided?
Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, with this legal system, depending on how detrimental it could be to the overall economy of the state, the city, the country. Not
that Kathy Hochul or however the crap you say her name, not that she cares about the actual New Yorkers, because they're worried about spending more money on illegal immigrants and Holocaust family survivors, which, again, the Holocaust was awful.
Some celloist got cracked over the head in the subway with a glass bottle.
Why?
Playing music.
Why? Because people don't like to be happy?
Because New York.
Because New York. That is true. Which is so weird because I've been to New York, and New York was really nice when we went a long, long time ago. It is not the same city now. People from New York and people who live in New York will tell you it is not the same city it was before 2020.
Honestly, it's not going to be in the South. It's not going to be in the South. The Civil War is going to start
in the North.
In New York.
Yeah, as opposed to the South this time, it's starting up north.
A Survival Junkie 2 is saying about how there is no load coming to New York City coming Monday, which is less than 24 hours.
All right. I just received a call from a company that I was getting a load from, and they just said they don't have any loads going to New York. So if you're in New York, you won't be receiving anything from these drivers.
I wonder how many companies, like companies in New York, I wonder how many companies in New York who are expecting deliveries tomorrow are on the phone calling these companies going, are you bringing this shit or not? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, are they being proactive with it?
What if you have some companies saying, I don't want anything because we stand with Trump. We stand with the truckers. What are they saying that? What are they saying? We refuse to load.
I wonder how many are doing that, because that's going to be a huge burden on them financially, and where are they going to make that up from?
I'm on my phone now, but I need to see if Cliff knows anything. The trucker we interviewed at the Loves.
Oh, yeah. Max, please stop. Make him stop,
the trucker
please.
we interviewed at the Loves. And, these, the dispatchers killing the loads, like, This could be part of it. It's like, we all are in this together.
Yeah.
It's real that I know that the companies are now saying that they're not delivering loads, not just the truckers. It's the companies also. Get yourself prepared, New York. Shit may hit the fan in the next couple of days.
I hope these folks don't procrastinate.
But then again, what happens when you say you should go out ASAP and get everything, and then
I don't know about
nothing
everything,
happens?
but get something.
Get something. Yeah.
If your shopping day was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, make that shopping day like
Monday.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you have it. I mean, this is getting real. Also, from the video on our channel, there was a lot of feedback from many truckers that flooded in echoing their sentiment. They are saying no deliveries to New York as well. It's just not talk. It's a movement that's sparking national anthem. Truckers for Trump are laying down the law, refusing to navigate the New York maze over the fraud ruling that slapped Trump and his son with a hefty fine.
I guess the question is, it's like, what else can Trump control besides the trucks?
Probably everything. Honestly, he's got.
And I don't think Trump did this.
No, I don't think he did it, but
because
of Trump.
Can you imagine if Trump gave the order?
Trump shuts down deliveries to New York City. Not him personally, but because of him, they are shutting down. So people have to look at it that way. They have to realize that without his name being attached to it, the truckers would still be delivering tomorrow. If it had been Biden, something against Biden, people would have been like, and sleep well tonight.
Can you imagine if Trump gave the order? Like, if he gave the order, it'd be far more dramatic.
Dramatic, yeah.
So what are you hearing so far from the comments on your video?
The comments so far on the first video that I put up were, I stand with the truckers, but then also misunderstanding of what was going on, saying Trump did not order this, which was never said. We never said Trump ordered this. We said without Trump, this wouldn't be happening.
This is a byproduct.
Yeah, it's the byproduct of Trump, because without Trump being in the court and this thing happening, none of these truckers would be boycotting New York City because of this. So they do go hand in hand.
It's not Trump being in court, it's Trump getting the squeeze.
Yeah, that.
It's Trump getting the squeeze.
Yeah, so that's what
whether you want to vote for him or not, realize he's getting the squeeze.
Well, that's what most of the comments are, is about that. And then also about how New York gets what it deserves because they voted blue. But I think people do have to remember that you may live in a state that you don't agree with their policies, their politics, or whatever, but moving out is either way too expensive, or you have family there you have to take care of, or you have a job there. So while New York itself may suck with what they do, I don't believe every single person in there does.
Let me explain something to you. You remember how we had bad weather in the airport? I think it was around Thanksgiving. We had bad weather and a lot of flights were getting canceled.
Oh, yes.
And you were like, well, it's not bad weather here at our airport.
Yeah.
But it's bad weather where the plane was coming from.
Yeah.
So this has a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So even though the loads aren't going to New York, the loads that were going to New York that had a load coming out of New York to wherever you are
It's going to affect everybody. So a lot of people don't realize that, or maybe most of you do, that a lot of times truckers, whatever delivery they have, they also have a pickup in the same area so they can take it somewhere else. It's a constant ping-ponging around the United States, if you will. So the truckers that are not going to go into New York City now, yes, it affects New York City because they're not going to get their delivery, but it's also going to affect whatever the next stop was after that because they're not going to get their delivery because the truckers are not in New York City to pick up to take somewhere else. So it is going to have a massive ripple effect. So although we're talking about how the people of New York City need to prepare for what's about to happen, literally everybody in the country needs to, because we don't know who else will be affected from the truckers not making it into New York City, not picking up a load, because we don't know where that would have gone.
Truckers need to be aware too. Truckers need to get prepared because you're probably going to have some truck stops loaded up with some guys that just aren't going to go anywhere.
And that's a very scary place to be when there's a lot of people out there who believe highly in theft as opposed to working hard for anything they have in life.
Duck. You're
a sitting duck because where are you going to go? You know what I mean? And truckers, you got to sleep in the cab a lot of the times. If you're refrigerated, you got to keep your truck running. And it's like a sound beacon for people. Oh, I hear that truck.
The reefer,
it's right over there.
The reefer with the green light on it.
Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. So for all these truckers who may be just sitting and chilling, waiting to go somewhere after New York or somewhere besides New York, just be very cautious, be on the lookout, and make sure you have your 2A. And then actually, they can't.
No, you can't.
Don't do that. That's literally against the law.
Do it, but don't do it.
Yeah, do it, but don't do it.
But it's literally like Fast and Furious. You got to strap up and be ready for some good old-fashioned vigilante mayhem.
Yep.
I remember Chicago Ray from the recent video, a voice for truckers online who's been chatting up a storm with drivers across the country. His message, find out and F around, to anyone doubting the seriousness of this boycott. According to him, it's not just about dodging the hassle of New York City traffic. It's a stand against what they see as an unjust treatment of Trump, calling out the ruling as election interference. As of now, boycott New York City is trending, with the thousands talking about it. But the big question remains, how far will this go?
This kind of reminds me of the situation in Tennessee with Whistling Diesel. And he had so many people show up in his defense.
Oh, yeah.
Trump is literally like, it's like, wow, when you have that much of a following of supporters that recognize how you are being unjustly
railroaded
by the legal system.
Yeah.
That's, and why did they choose black women to go after him?
That I can't tell you.
Was that intentional?
Well, I mean, what was her name that was on the show? You're fired. What was her name? And then she did something. Yeah, and then she did something in the White House also. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I mean, like this is strategic. This is strategic.
Yeah.
But I don't think they know who they're messing with. I think they've completely underestimated who they're messing with.
I agree. Some people may not like him as a human. Some people may not like him as a politician, but...
I mean, I wouldn't hang out with him.
But you have to realize that he's obviously a very smart man to get to where he has gotten, and very powerful to get to where he has gotten in life based off of his dad's money that started his real estate company, and like that how it works. But everything
it takes money to make money, right?
Everything he's been able to do, and the doors he's been able to walk through, and the things that's power.
Usually it's the succession of generations that squander the fortune. You say what you want, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And maybe his son won't either. Maybe. I mean, who's in hotter water?
Yeah.
Trump's son or Biden's son?
Well, definitely Biden's son. Definitely Biden's son. Cocaine and hookers is definitely kind of a big deal with taxpayer money.
Alina Cardone rallying support through a GoFundMe for Trump and companies backing away from New York City deliveries, the impact could be huge. Now, we do have another...
Did you know about that? The GoFundMe that has been set up for Trump?
No, but I do know that there's a Patreon for SquirrelTribe.
There is. If you would like to support the channel, please knock yourself out. No harm, no foul if not. But yeah, they set up a GoFundMe for Trump, which has always been interesting to me when GoFundMes are set up for very rich, powerful people.
Is anybody dogging it at all?
Not that I've seen so far.
Because you saw what happened to Alyssa Milano, the Super Bowl, right? Did you see that?
Oh, I know there was a GoFundMe set up from her, but I don't remember what it was about.
Poor damn traveling baseball team. They jumped on her ass.
Yes.
And Trump's...
Yeah, for her son's traveling baseball team, because traveling baseball is so expensive. I'm like, Alyssa Milano, do you not realize?
They jumped on her because of that, and she went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you spent 10 grand to go to the Super Bowl when you could have just paid for your kid to do his traveling baseball. So you're a very selfish parent. I liked her on Who's the Boss. Not so much in Charmed.
What else was she on? Oh, she's just on commercials?
No, she's been in a lot of stuff, but Who's the Boss is the main thing that people know her for.
Third person that's also talking about truck drivers. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about it. Okay, they're saying truck drivers are not dropping loads in New York City starting Monday. This is no joke. I mean, people around the world are gearing up. Let's see what he says.
If you're from New York, listen up. You better start going to the grocery stores right now. If you're from New York,
I want to know where he's from.
Not from New York.
Because it don't sound like
He's not New York. He's not New York.
are not stocked up on food by Monday, you're going to start feeling the pain by the end of that week. New Yorkers, truck drivers are going to stop delivering food to New York.
He's from Atlanta, I bet.
You heard me.
You heard? They're going to stop delivering food to New York, but guess what else trucks aren't going to be delivering? Fuel. You have to think about that. They're not going to be delivering fuel. You're not going to get food. You're not going to get water. You're not going to get medical supplies.
Will they stop delivering migrants?
No, migrants will, because those come in buses. So buses are still okay. You're still going to get
migrants and fentanyl still coming.
Yeah, they're still on their way.
They are now entering the battle with Donald J. Trump. They say
the way that sounds, they're entering the battle with Donald J. Trump. It's not with him, it's for him. So I think there is a difference, because when you say entering the battle with Donald J. Trump, it makes it sound like truckers and Trump are going head to head, but they're entering the battle for Donald J. Trump. He's not the one doing this in theory. It is the truckers who are doing this to support him. So they're entering a battle for Donald J. Trump.
Will not deliver nothing, not one load, to New York City until they leave Donald Trump alone. Until they release Donald Trump from all charges. So get prepared.
Donald Trump is like a modern day Dominic Toretto.
The head of the family?
Where you know that if you get locked up, they're coming to bust you out.
What's the guy's name on Sopranos?
Tony
Soprano. He's like a Tony Soprano meets Dom.
But you know they're coming to bust you out.
Yeah, they're going to get you. Flip your bus, whatever needs to happen. What was that in number 4? Where they flipped the bus?
No, that was...
Or 5.
Was that 4?
It was 4 or 5 where they flipped the bus.
Oh.
I don't know. I love Fast and the Furious until...
That was when Jordana was rocking that NSX.
8, 9, 10. Oh, yeah.
Jordana was riding that NSX.
Yeah, she was. But 9 and 10 suck balls. 8 was whatever.
So Trump's sitting in his... Trump's sitting wherever he's sitting, and he hears the call. You know what music he hears? You know what music he hears when he knows the cavalry's coming?
Probably something Leonard Skinner.
Kanye.
Kanye?
It's got to be Kanye.
Why would it be Kanye?
Him and Kanye tight.
That's actually true.
It's got to be Kanye.
Until Kanye was going to run against him, and then not so tight.
Kanye was only going to run against him to help Trump win.
Yeah, because it's like Trump or that cracked out black man.
Kanye would have captured a large percentage of the black voters and then turned them over to Trump.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this earlier, based off somebody left a comment.
And while he did it, you would have seen his girlfriend naked through her see-through clothes.
Oh yeah, that's his wife.
Oh,
she's very unattractive.
That's his wife?
She's like the
Bianca?
She's like the Wish or the Wish or Shein version of Kim Kardashian. When you can't get the real one, you just get the China version.
She's the Temu.
Temu version of Kim Kardashian. It's special.
He's shopping like a billionaire.
But I feel like you're going to have a lot more black people voting for Trump this time than the first time.
You'll at least have one more.
But I feel like you'll have a lot more.
Can the black voters overtake the migrants?
Migrants can't vote. So what do you mean?
Oh, they can't.
Legally.
Really?
Legally.
I feel like Pete Davidson right now. Really?
You look like Pete Davidson. Really? You look like him. Really?
They'll vote. It's just a matter of later on, will their vote count?
That's true.
Well,
especially because I feel like everything's going to have to be mail-in this year, and you can fudge the crap out of some mail-in stuff that you can't.
What if they try to boost the migrant voting on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
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 Why Tuesdays?
Because of tacos.
Okay, that makes sense.
Taco Tuesday.
Here's your taco, here's your voting ballot. That's racist, sorry.
No, it's not. It's good business.
Okay.
It's marketing.
We'll go with that.
How y'all feel about this? Do y'all think this is going to be effective? Do you think it's going to create a change? I think it can. In my opinion, I think it might work. I don't know, but how y'all feel about this one? This is a good one.
The impact can definitely be huge. New York's already dealing with a share of challenges from migration issues to potential food supply disruption. But what happens if this trucker boycott hits New York City food supply? We're looking at immediate shortages of perishables like fruit, veggies, and dairy. Grocery shelves should be looking pretty bare. And
What kills me is that this is all footage from during the pandemic when it was stay 6 feet apart, where only a certain amount of people could go in at a certain time. It's designed to scare you, but I do think that it needs. I do think that it needs to be paid attention to, because this could be what it looks like on Monday.
There's no footage of it yet. There will be footage.
So you have to use something to give people an idea of what it's going to be like.
How much time do you think before there's actual footage of chaos in the stores in New York?
As soon as they open tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, and even if there's not chaos, it will still be pushed as chaos.
In addition to not only shortages, panic, fear, anxiety, worry, but also the overwhelming amount of recalls.
People are going to be like, I'll take the recalled shit. I just need something. That's all that's left. Yeah.
They're emptying the shelves.
Yeah, there's been a lot with Quaker, with
Salmonella, Listeria.
Yeah, but a lot of Quaker stuff has been recalled.
Mud butt. I think it causes mud butt.
Yeah, probably.
Trying to think of anything else that it causes.
Probably a lot of stuff.
And prices, they're likely to shoot up, making it tougher for everyone to get their hands on the essentials. Restaurants and food services could take a hit too, possibly leading to menu cutbacks or even shutdown. And it doesn't stop.
Rationing. You see how long that line was? They're not going to do that again. They're gonna give you time slots. They're not going to have that line around the building. They're going to give you time slots. They're going to ration time slots.
Well, you're not going to get a time slot until you show up to the building, so it's still going to have people there.
No, you have to get your time slot on the app.
That probably everything's on an app these days. But I feel like if this does pan out the way people are worried about it panning out, it will be that literal. You can have one loaf of bread, one thing of meat. That's the end of it. One per household. Don't try to bring your brother, your sister, your husband, your uncle, your auntie in here to get more for you. This is what your whole entire household gets.
It's funny that you say that. I agree with you. I don't think there's going to be a run on toilet paper this time.
No, people are probably still stocked up for that. Or they realize that you can just wipe your ass with an old t-shirt and take your butt into the shower when you're done.
I don't think there's going to be a run on toilet paper.
Because people realize they wasted their money on toilet paper when they should have been buying food.
Food or water? You're in New York.
Water. You need water more. You need water more than anything because you drink
tap water in New York?
I don't care, but you need water more than anything because without water you will die. Without food you can go way more days than you can without water.
I hear you, but I'd be willing to bet that Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits will be sold out before water.
Okay.
Hear me out.
All right.
They're going to buy Cheddar Bay biscuits more than they buy Crystal Geyser water.
Oh yeah, Crystal Geyser water tastes like somebody's anus, I'm sure.
It tastes like somebody drank Nestle water or Deer Park.
And then shit it out?
And then peed into the bottle of Crystal Geyser.
Swished it around a little. It's the little swirl.
Put a little bit of...
minerals in it.
The flavoring. What's the flavoring? Miso or something?
Oh, the miso.
Trying to cover up the... Oh, you got one?
Mio.
Mio.
It's the Mio stuff.
Yeah, you put a Mio. You drink Deer Park or Nestle. And then
it's awful. That's why it's still in the... I should have thrown it away.
You R. Kelly it into a Crystal Geyser bottle.
Yeah.
And then you put a little bit of Mio in it. I think that the shelves will be empty of good water.
Oh, immediately. What will be left is Pure Life or Zephyr Hills.
Or the expensive stuff. The really expensive stuff will be left. Maybe.
That's not on the shelves anywhere there.
What's his name? Good Mystical Morning?
Mythical Morning?
$90 bottles of water?
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
From the iceberg, the glaciers
of Alps or something.
What's
the rest of this?
there. If this keeps up, even the non-perishables could become scarce. The ripple effect could be massive, stretching from the dinner table to the broader economy, affecting jobs and possibly leading to an uptick in food insecurity. We could see a strain on alternative food sources and emergency food programs being pushed to their limits. So what do you think? With companies now stepping back from the New York...
I think it's pushing it a little much. I don't think it's going to be that severe. I mean, it will suck probably for a week or two. I don't think it's going to be that severe because truckers, whether you're owner operator or not, they can't just indefinitely not go to work until Trump's charges are dropped. They still have to make a living to take care of their families. So while this may happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I personally don't think it's going to go past that, but I do think people really need to pay attention to the fact that even if it only lasts 5 days with the truckers, that ripple effect will last for a few weeks. So they do need to stock up. They do need to be aware of that. Eat smaller portions, drink a little bit less water, make sure you're making smart choices.
I disagree.
Okay. You do, you boo.
I disagree. I think that there's a large percentage of the population in New York City that relies on this government assistance to buy their food.
Uh-huh.
And I also want to look at it from the standpoint of a UAW strike. And the UAW strike shouldn't have lasted as long as it did, but they were resilient. Both sides.
But they also got paid while they were on strike.
Both sides were resilient.
They also got paid while they were on strike.
But both sides were really resilient.
Yeah, that's great. But they got paid while they were on strike. These truckers aren't getting paid while they decide to boycott. So there's a massive difference there.
They could pick up different loads. They could pick up different loads.
They could. Possibly.
But they could pick up different loads. But yeah.
Stop licking me.
Starting Monday, less than 24 hours, less than 10 hours actually, the ripple effects could be significant. How long will this last and what will it mean for New York in the days ahead? The city's been through a lot and the latest turmoil could really shake things up. Let's hear your thoughts.
Great marketing. GetTrumpSneakers.com. No question.
There's no question on what you're getting or where to go.
As we watch the situation unfold, I mean, this is actually getting serious than I thought. Truck carriers, they are in it as well. So let's see. Make sure you leave a like, comment down your thoughts and opinions, and subscribe for more.
Look at that. There's Tucker right there.
Yeah.
There's Tucker.
Well, that's Dana White, right? That's his name?
So that
MMA
one,
guy?
that was a clip from him walking into a UFC fight.
Yeah.
Where Bill Mayer, I think it was Bill Mayer, his wife,
Probably. I don't know.
interracial couple,
I have no idea.
and she gave him the bird, and she kind of got like lit up
Possible.
for that.
I have no clue.
Kid Rock was there. Kid Rock was there, drinking some Bud Lights.
I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you leave comments below. I'd like to know your thoughts on this newest update. And again, make sure you hit the notification bell so when the newest updates come out, you guys are aware. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. See you on the next one. Bye.